Yep, the Fed cuts gold pumps to a brand new all-time high, then dumps. What's next? I have no idea, and neither do you really, but what we will do is do the regular gold, silver, platinum price analysis. I'll also take a chart request or two today. Things are looking all right. They're looking all right. Look, if you're watching this on the replay, I'd suggest using the time codes below. It's the easiest way to go to your favorite bit straight away, but if you're watching live, you're one of the privileged people that get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, including what we do here is the synchronized slurp within the first 1 minute of said show. It's where you grab a tasty beverage, I grab my tasty beverage. What's in it? I don't know. Let's keep it a secret today. Don't tell anyone. And we slurp them synchronously. The rule is you must do it audibly. I don't care where you are in the world, what you're doing, slurp it. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Slurp time. Ooh, yeah. Mama, my name is Joe Main. I've worked in the precious metals industry in Australia for 11 years, been a stacker for longer than that. Now I do this show every single weekday morning. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. 663 subscribers now. Can't be wrong. Welcome to all the new subscribers overnight. First, we do the shout outs. We get those out of the way because the early birds always get and always deserve to get their little shout outs as well. And then we'll do the rest of the stuff. Gold, silver, platinum. We'll look at the FOMC meeting thing, the little spike and the dump, and we'll talk about that. Is it looking positive for gold and silver? And I'll just give you my non-financial advice opinion. And I've got some announcements, little what's going on this week and all that kind of stuff. You kind of got to need to know what's happening tomorrow. Will you get a show tomorrow? Maybe, maybe not, but I'll let you know. Tomorrow, I'll let you know later on today. Let's see. Living Animan says, GMS, Joe and friends, hope all are well and having a good week. We'll see if I can stop in later when I can. If not, catch the replay. That's the way to do it. If you can't do it, if you can't watch it live, watch the replay. Use the time codes if you want. But Living Animan's the type of person. Look, the true GMS family believers, whatever that means, you don't use the time codes, do you? You watch the whole thing. Why would you skip all this mirth and merriment? GMS says, Black Coal, you have been away. I haven't seen you for a while, man. Been away for a while traveling overseas. Did I miss much? No, you didn't miss much. Morning, LAM. Morning, everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Mark, Florida. Didn't mean to blah, blah, blah you there, knackers. Just getting through those ones. Mark, Florida. And looking forward to Joe's report. On his son's event yesterday. Yes, my son, I did a surprise live show yesterday. I wasn't sure if I was going to do one. And I snuck one in about 15, 20-minute show yesterday morning, earlier on in the morning. That's because my son was doing his first ever school concert thing. So he did a couple of dances. He's in prep. And I got to tell you, no joke, stole the show. You know, if he's anything like his dad, then, and as you know, a lot of you know that I've been an entertainer for 25 years as a lead vocalist in stuff, bands, musicals, cruise ships, blah, 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 all that stuff for the last 25 years. So if he's anything like his dad, we might have another little entertainer on our hands. So he was like front and center. He knew all the moves and everyone was kind of like watching him like as a reference point. So it was. I'm not gonna. We all big note our children, but he did a good job. So anyway, that was what that was a good. So report was good. Report was good. Mark Florida says again, good to see LAM and knackers this early. Yeah, I wonder if anything interesting happened in the PM markets today. Did it? We'll take a look today. Welcome to everyone watching from Wall Street Silver and Silver Degen Club as well, and everyone else around the world. If you're watching this on the replay, hit the big red subscribe button. Silver is where my heart is, but gold is definitely lurking. Yeah, we'll take a look at the gold to silver ratio quickly today as well. I'm going to say that is Irish or Welsh. I'm going to say Irish or Welsh for Lance's good morning this time around. He does a different language every single time. So I'm guessing Irish or Welsh. That's my guess. Len says, what's everyone's flavour of their purchase at the moment? Gold or silver or platinum? Post a comment below and answer that question from Lance. Morning, Joe. Morning, Jason. Jason. GMS slurp time and GMS team says Silver Fox. Great to see you back on the channel. And, I was correct. Irish. It just looked Irish. I know no Irish, but it looks so contorted and twisted that yet with English letters, it had to be Irish. It's like although that almost sounded Russian. Okay. Let's get into it, people. Let's talk about the FOMC meeting. Of course, it did what we thought it was going to do. A lot of you thought it would drop by 50 basis points, so 0.5%. It ended up doing that. So, well, congratulations on the prediction. It was either going to be 25 or 50. So, it was kind of like a 50-50 thing. 75 wasn't definitely not going to be a thing. So we'll talk about what the reaction was. But I'm going to show you a quick little article. I'll see if I can get that up. So give me a second. This is from someone. I don't know who it's from, but someone. The old FOMC sell the fact hits again. I don't know who wrote this. I can't see the name of the person, but let's just quickly read through it. Hey, why not? We've seen this one before. You can game out the Fed decision as much as possible, but the market loves to punish both sides of the trade. That's exactly what we are getting at the moment as the US dollar recoups all of its FOMC losses, and in some cases more than that. I think, whoever this person is, I think the bond market captures some of the worry. US 10-year yields are now up 6 basis points on the day. Some of that came before the decision, but yields are still higher in the aftermath. Blah, blah, blah. Anything about gold? That said, I don't think this debate is over. At the end of the day, 50 basis points is still 50 basis points, and the Fed could very well be behind the curve, particularly if the US fiscal picture tightens next year. So it's just talking about the Fed. So yeah, the old sell the fact, sell on the news. Okay, let's take a look at the gold price. This is gold in US dollars, 2,557 US dollars. And we're using the tradingview.com website. Get your chart requests in now. I know I missed one or two yesterday or the day before it was, so repeat those ones. I will have time maybe for two, but definitely one, but maybe two. So get your chart requests in, preferably something I've never looked at before. I really like to do the first live looks. So gold, so here's the spike. I showed this on the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum. So here's after, that's around about just after the announcement of 50 basis points, blah, 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 blah. Okay, congratulations, new all-time high in gold. Now, this won't be the exact thing. Some charts have it going a bit higher. I saw one that said it was like 2,615, maybe, something like that. But on this particular index, this one, the CFDs on gold, this one here, it got up to bang on at $2,600. And then after the news, it was the quick then reversal. If I look on the 30 minutes, yeah, okay, so 30 minute and the 15 minute. So the news, 15 minutes, say half an hour. So yeah, within sort of just after half an hour, and then blah, blah, blah. So the sell, really kind of like the sell on the news event. Big pump. Some people thinking, oh, that's good. And then other people going, yeah, no, it's usually the sell on the news event because it seems like maybe it was priced in a bit. And they've gone, I'm going to take those profits. Thank you very much. And from 2,600 all the way back down to below 25.50. So a $50 move in not that long. But here are the positives. So look, pump and dump. But look, here are the positives. Let's pop out to the daily time frame. Well, look at where we've come from, okay? As you know, here's this trend line right here, and we've broken above it. We've clearly broken above it, and we're still above it. So that's good. So look, we're above this trend line. No problem, man. That's all good. And we're also above the 2,530 previous, now old. It was just an old. This is from 20th of August. So a month ago, we had a new all-time high in gold. Now we just placed a new all-time high in gold. They're crazy. They're coming thicker and faster. But we're still above 2,530. Okay, so no stress. We're just above there. I think I'll do it this way. I think we're still on our way onwards and upwards. That's the short answer. I still think we're onwards and upwards to at least the mother of all trend lines, which is around about 2,650, give or take $20. So, you know, if it happened in early October, it'll be 2,660 US dollars, okay? But this is the mother of all trend lines. I'm not going to bother showing you the big one because you've seen it before, but it goes through the old high of 1980 and the old high of 2011, and this is the continuation of that trend line. So it's going to find it's like a magnet pushing itself, pulling the price up to it, I should say, and it's going to hit there. In my humble non-financial advice opinion, I think there's probably like an 80% chance of that at this stage. So this just looks like a little blip along the way, in my humble opinion. Could I be wrong? Could it tank from here? Yes, of course, anything could happen. Let's take a look at the opposite end. So you've got room to move down still. Okay, still got room to move down. You've got that purple box drawn in here, and that's between the 25-30 area, the all-time high, and this top end, the trend line right here. So anywhere in here would be a reasonable move back down. I'm not saying it's going there, but if it went down to there, you don't want to see it close below there. Closing below here, and we won't think about that for now. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour, as you can see here on the relative strength index. Let me move that up out of the way. So now we've already been in extremely overvalued, and we've gone almost all the way back down. Okay, we haven't gone into extremely undervalued yet. Doesn't mean we will, but just bear that in mind. Could that be a double bottom right there and then we sail up? Hey, that'd be great, wouldn't it? But just bear in mind, we haven't gone into extremely oversold or extremely undervalued for gold on the 1 hour time frame yet, okay? And you will eventually, it just depends on, when it hits, but around here wouldn't surprise, okay? And that may coincide with the 25-30 purple box area there. Cool. And on the 4 hour, excuse me, I'll keep this a pretty quick show because I gotta take care of the voice today. I'll tell you why at the end of the show. We've been in extremely overvalued on the 4 hour time frame, as you know. A quick pump, but that means we've got you would call it like a bearish divergence as such, because you've got, oh no, that's kind of down and that's going down, so you wouldn't call that a bearish divergence. But we had that quick spike right there, but we're still trending down on the relative strength index, and you've got room to move as well. Let me move that other way and I'll show you here. See that very clearly? You've got room to move down, maybe a support level there, but again, on the 4 hour time frame, just like the 1 hour, on the 4 hour, you haven't spent time in extremely undervalued, oversold for a decent period of time. So it's coming eventually. Does it come around about here and then we have the support here? That would be lovely. That would be good to see around about there. So I would say if you find support around this trend line and then we're basically around about the extremely undervalued area, that's a good point, okay? 2 good points of confluence to say, ooh, support level there and really good support level there, okay? That's on the 4 hour. And on the daily, let's see, on the relative strength index, obviously you see here, extremely overvalued, back down to the normal range, made a play for it, failed move, made a second play for it, but again, we're above these key support levels, so you could find that ticking up there. Just bear in mind we're already at the top end, okay? That's it. I'm cool with gold for the moment while we are above this uptrend line. That's no problem. Par for course, breakout, retest, cool. I just don't want to see it break down through that $2,515 area. Close days below 2,515. Yeah, no thank you. Not great. That sets up for down here, and the more times you test an area, the more likely it is to be taken out. So just stay above that trend line, please. Thank you, gold. I appreciate it. But I do believe we are pulling up to like a magnet to that 2650-ish kind of area. Get it? Got it? Good. What happens from there? No idea. Let's just see what happens over the weekend. You may get a show tomorrow, so we may do another analysis tomorrow. Just depends what's going on, and I'll tell you that later on. That is gold. Let's take a look at silver. Good to see. Good to see. And we have hit, which was, obvious, pretty obvious-ish, that after this failure to close any day recently, after this pump, failure to close above $31 US, which is my final hurdle, okay? Didn't close, spiked above, didn't close. Made a play for it, hit resistance exactly, didn't close. Spiked above it just overnight with the Fed decision, spiked above, but the sell on the news event closed below. Now, here's the good news. The good news so far, that is, and it doesn't mean it's good news forever, but the good news is we spiked below the downtrend line, but we closed above it. Again, don't look at the spikes, look at where they close. Okay, so spikes are fine, and as long as we close above it, that's cool. I'm okay with it. So we've closed above this trend line. We just now need to find that as support. So I would imagine what you could possibly see is a spike down to there, and then hopefully a reversal, and this day ends green today. That's what you'd really love to see. Spike down, and that, and a fake out. That would be lovely. And then onwards and upwards, we need to close above here. Okay, $30.20 US cents. Closing the day above there sets up for the move back up to the final hurdle of 31 US dollars. As you know, 31 US dollars, my final hurdle, close any month above 31, where 100% bull, not 99%, where I am not 100% barring black swan events, blah, blah, blah. I sound like a broken record, but let's just say stay above this trend line right there. If we break this trend line, do not close any day below the back in business line of 29 US dollars. No, thanks, not good. Okay, just cool. But we're not there. But I'm just warning you. You don't want to close down there. But on the 4-hour time frame, yeah, look, we're in the belly of the normal range of the relative strength index on the 4-hour, and there's room to move down, but you've got room to move up, because you're right. I know that sounds so wishy-washy, doesn't it? Sorry, but you're right in the sort of middle range right there. On the 1-hour time frame, we have, just like gold, we haven't gone into extremely overvalued, but that could be close enough for jazz. If the mother of all trend lines on gold is sucking it up to that area, and then silver would tend to follow as well. So you don't have to go into extremely overvalued before you have a larger pump, but just note it hasn't been there for a while. Please just hold 29 US dollars, please, and thanks. That'd be lovely. That is silver. That's all you really need to know. Let's take a look at platinum. Get your chart requests in, and I will do at least one of them, depending on how well my voice holds up. Oh, platinum. Okay, yeah, righto. It's done it to me again. Just when I think I'm out, it pulls me back in. Okay, the old Godfather 3 famous line. Okay, so, sorry guys, we're back in depressed land for platinum. Sorry. Was getting excited once we closed above the 2008 trend line. That was looking good. We closed the day above it. We closed the second day above it. Didn't spike the third day above it. FOMC meeting, sell on the news, blah, 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 blah. Okay. We're back in the depressed zone, but only just. But technically, I have to be depressed for platinum. What would I be wanting to watch out for? This right here. Okay. See this trend line right there? You want that to hold and bounce off it very quickly, please, and thank you. And then start closing days very quickly. You really want to close the week. If I show you here, you really want this to be a spike and a close the week above the 2008 trend line. That would be good. Okay, that's preferable. I don't want to start going anywhere down near $945. And if we close this week or any week below $945, this horizontal blue line, bad. And then you'd probably be very much likely be heading back down and potentially really into the belly of the best buy zone. Out of interest, belly of the best buy zone, or the best buy zone is 900. We technically did hit it, so that was correct, right? The best buy zone was hit. But the belly of the best buy zone has not been hit. That's anywhere between 900 to 750 US dollars. Key areas here at 870 and 840. But look, we're not there. Just let's stay above 945. Thanks. That'd be great. And so I'm depressed for platinum while we're in this area here. We get above here, I'll start getting excited. And you know my final hurdle, 1,115, just like silver, tells me full bull market. Cool. That's it. But we're not there yet. Thanks, Lucy. It's pulled the rug out from me once again, pulled the football out from me. But hopefully that is a little blip along the way. That is platinum. Gold-silver ratio heading, well, look, it had a large reaction last week. This was a failed move to hold above the area here. This is the any metals game. Above here says, well, gold's really taking center stage. It failed. Failed move here, fast move to the downside. Silver was looking really, really good. It still looks good. Could just be a little relief rally while we peek our head into this area. My biases, because I just have biases as we all do, is for silver to continue to outperform gold over time. Is that going to happen now? Who knows? But what we would want to see for that to happen is closing days and closing weeks below this uptrend line right here. And as you know, preferably closing below here at about 80, 80.5, 80. We start closing days and weeks below here. That's very good news for silver versus gold. Again, silver and gold could be crashing, right? But just one's crashing smaller, more than the other. But obviously, we think, precious metals will be going up, and I think that silver will outperform gold over the longer term, as it has done in the past. But you want to see that 80.5 level broken, and then that spells really good news for silver versus gold. Okay, then we'll start talking about those lower ratio prices. But we're just peaking in here on the relative strength index. I guess we can look at, we've already been extremely overvalued for gold on the daily time frame, right? And then we had this potential move. It was a failed move, fast move to the downside, and the general trend is down. Okay, general trend is down on the relative strength index, which is good for silver. So, and you haven't spent any time in extremely undervalued for gold, or overvalued for silver, I should say, on the daily since here in May. End of May. So you've got room to move down again eventually. Whoa. There's a larger gap though. There's a pretty big gap between there and there. But we want to see it tank if you want to see silver continue to outperform gold, because you're a silver bug, just like I am. I have a little bit of gold, as you know, but mainly all silver. That's the gold to silver ratio for now. We're back in the any metals game area. Does it really matter at the end of the day? Probably not. Hopefully, if gold and silver are both going up in fiat dollar terms, does it really matter too much if gold is completely sailing through? No, because your silver is still going at the same time. But you want to get the most metal for your money. So preferably, we want to see that go down as silver holders, because we want to swap our silver for gold later on down the track. Or you may never actually swap your silver for gold ever, and you might be one of those people. That's okay. But I'm going to look at it when we get to the 50 time frame, the 50 ratio right there. We're a long way off, but I'll start looking at a swap around about then. That's the gold to silver ratio as well. Yeah, cool. All right, let's do some quick shout outs and let's take some chart requests. Let's take a look at a couple of quick comments, and I'll tell you what's going on for me over the weekend and what's coming next week as well. So let's see. Slurp it. Yes, the Irish thing. We did that. Hey, Hazza. Now, is that a divergence reset on gold? Could be. Don't have the time to go back to it. My apologies, Lance. It will take a couple of weeks to see the real impact of the FOMC meeting. Yeah, probably. So I think for me, that's why I'm more bullish on the gold after the FOMC meeting. Drop in rates, money printer goes brr, global liquidity increases, and then that's usually good for gold and other things that go up during a time of global liquidity increase, such as Bitcoin. But remains to be seen. I am also taking I'm keeping an eye on, and I'm watching other people that are keeping an eye on the Bitcoin gold ratio, or the gold to Bitcoin ratio as well, because there will be a clear winner between gold and Bitcoin and silver and Bitcoin as well. So there's going to be a time, until it confirms, there's going to be a time where I might consider, I think I might need to really get out of one and get back into the other, depending on which way it goes. I'll always have my core silver stack, all right? So I'll never get rid of all my stack. But then I'll tell you what, if Bitcoin starts taking off against silver or that, I might have to do a little swap. Because at the end of the day, we're really in it just to increase our wealth and help our families and all that sort of stuff. And the short answer is, you know it, never be wedded to one investment asset. If one looking like it's going to be really underperform another, you've got to really, this is not when we're not rah gold and silver forever. Okay, are we? No, because what happens if the gold to real estate ratio is just off the roof, and then you can buy a bunch of real estate with gold? Okay, then you would do that. Then this channel might become the real estate good morning renovators. I don't know. You never know, but that's the. What am I saying? I'm just ranting now. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. That's a great way to leave that. Palladium has been firing the past few days. Has it? I will have to check that. We're missing Chat Mum today. We are missing Chat Mum today. Where is Tony Peterson? We always miss Tony Peterson when she's not here. Chart request from me. If no one has anything, UVIX. Okay, so you're the first one. Hazard says, any news on why Palladium has gone past Platinum, Joe? No news as far as I'm aware. She's busy, I believe. Yeah, okay, so chart request. I'm going to take a look at this. Okay, let's take a look at UV. Let me start this again. Chart request time. We're going to take a look at UVIX. Don't know what it is, never heard of the ticker, and that's what I love. I like to do live looks at brand new things I've never heard of. At least I don't know the ticker. So Lance, tell me right now what it is. What's UVIX? What sector is it in? What is it exactly? And then as I find that, you can tell me what it is. And yeah. Let's see, chart request from me, if no one has it. So it's UVIX on the New York Stock Exchange. Joe the Builder. Joe the Builder. Let's see, chart request. All right, UVIX on the NYSE. Let me go to there. Let me get rid of that. And let me go like this. I'm going to do share the screen. UVIX. Lance, tell me what this is all about. UVIX. All. Oh, okay. So it's futures. Long VIX futures. Oh, okay. Ooh, interesting. Oh, so it's the VIX. Oh, UVI. It's the VIX. Duh. It's the UVIX. Okay. All right. Cool. You can explain, if you can, explain to the crowd, please, Lance, what is the VIX? What does it indicate? And all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the 2 times long. Okay, so we're talking about leverage now, the 2 times long VIX futures. We're getting a little bit, it's not just a stock, it's not just a commodity, it's not an index fund, it's a 2 times long VIX futures ETF. Okay, let's take a look. Lance, I'm going to get your comments below. Tell me what that's all about. This is on the daily, so that's way before the Fed thing. Let's get some quick little things. What is it? Here we are. Here we go. Lance says it is an ETF playing the VIX on the New York Stock Exchange. It's a 2 times hedged fund. Lance, tell everyone what the VIX is. Can you explain that? Talk about the VIX and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do the minerals, Lance. No, Joe just ignores my chart request. No, I don't. You just didn't get in first, Jason. Jason. I don't. There we go. Thank you. The VIX is fear and volatility. Correct. Fear and volatility on the New York Stock Exchange, right? So the VIX is measuring fear and volatility on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, we also have a chart request for this, quite possibly, but let's take a look. We're going back. Okay, so this is the VIX. Thanks for your patience if you just clicked on the time code. Or you can click this time code. We're looking at the VIX 2 times futures, so the fear and volatility index on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, it has, this goes back to, I don't have a longer chart, okay? So this is going back to April of 2022. Wish I had a longer chart, but I don't. So it may be bottoming out. Well, it definitely did bottom out here. Okay, so you can very clearly see on the VIX, the Fear and Volatility Index. And Lance, while I'm doing this, you can explain, please, to the crowd, when this is going up, when number goes up, what does that mean? When number goes down, what does that mean? Okay, so we're at a very clear, it seems to me, bottom on the VIX. Okay, so Lance, if you can explain that in the comments, then I'll explain your explanation when I get out of this. Okay, so looks pretty clear. This is on the weekly time frame. Very clear bottom here. Well, you spent a lot of time in the extremely, I don't know what we call this, you just call it extremely undervalued, something like that, or oversold right here. You spent a lot of time in this range, a lot of time. And then just recently, we've poked our head out in the last number of weeks. This was again back in August of this, August of this year. Okay, we had this big move up to the 20 level right there. Okay, and then a move back down, but out of on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, however, that we did spike, right? So that's a big spike into the overvalued area, and we're just in the halfway mark. Okay, so really, I can't say either way. I don't mean to be at least on the daily time frame, we've just been consolidating here at the halfway level. So there's no real clear direction on the daily time frame. If we look at the weekly time frame, we have had that move back out of the undervalued area, and we did spike to around about the halfway point, or just over the halfway point, and we could be ticking up. So just so you know, since this VIX index, since March of 2022, it's never been, now again, I don't have a more historical chart, but it's never been since in the last couple of years anywhere near the overvalued range. So this has a lot of room to move up potentially. Okay, on the monthly time frame, we've just been in the just dead flat, pretty much in undervalued. Okay, hasn't even poked its little head out of there. Okay, what do we say though about spikes? So we have to kind of think about this. What do we say about spikes? We don't like the big spikes upward. Okay, why don't we like the big spikes upward? Now this might change. We might like it depending on what Lance says in terms of, number go up, number go down. But generally, this doesn't look good for it to continue up, I will say, because it's a big spike, a big upward spike, which says in a traditional market, in a fiat dollar market, this would say, oh, they're making a play. Oh, buyers are getting greedy, and the sellers go, no, not just yet, sell back down. Big spikes usually mean lower prices are more likely, okay, in a traditional fiat thing. Okay, so I don't like that big spike on the monthly time frame. It seems like that would set this up to continue to go down. Okay, don't like that. Well, I should say, again, depending on what Lance says here, we might really, really like that. Okay, we might want to see this go down. Let's have a look at Lance's comments. And we'll get everyone else's comments as well. I can do that without going back to the thing there. I don't ignore your chart requests. Let's see. There we go, Lance. When the number goes up, market is panicking and stocks are selling off. People wanting to exit the market. Now, you're talking about the stock market, correct? When the number goes up, when this goes up, the fear and volatility index is getting higher, obviously. So it obviously means that, yes, the market is panicking and stocks are selling off. So as this goes up, stocks are selling off because people are getting more panicky and more fear, okay? People wanting to exit the market. Okay. Think Japanese carry trade saga was the push up in August. Right, so you think the Japanese carry trade, yes, that's right. And then went, and it's just kind of settled down. Okay. Let's see. I know you're talking about crypto. Okay, so that's basically it. As this goes up, more fear and volatility, and more likely there is a sell-off in the market is happening. Okay, so, well, this really depends on, this is very subjective. Many people don't want to see this continue up. Many people would just love to see this continue trending down because that's good for the market. There is a lot of suggestion at the moment that we will be going into some kind of recessionary market panic. Okay, so if that's the case, then you would see this continue to rise. So again, on the monthly time frame, I can't give you a really it's harder to do a technical analysis on this kind of thing. Okay, but because of this spike here, and as again a traditional market, it says, well, that's a spike, and the general trend has been down. Okay, so it looks like the fear volatility index continuing to go down, where there's just more confidence. This is a hard one for me to read personally, although I will say on the weekly time frame, again, never been, and I wish we had a larger historical index. That would be perfect, because then we could see, in 1980 it did this, in 1987 it did this, in 2008 the VIX did the following. And I'm not going to look it up right now, but maybe we'll do that for another time, try and find a more historical one. If someone could do that for me, find a more historical VIX chart, and then I maybe will look at that tomorrow if I have time, or next week. But it looks like a little kind of rounding out there, doesn't it? But that's big spike, as Lance suggests. Japanese carry trade, little fear and volatility. Yeah, look, it's certainly got room to move up. So it hasn't been in this. So you would call this now extremely no fear and volatility, and extreme fear and volatility would be this area here. So we haven't been in extreme fear and volatility in the New York Stock Exchange, in the stock market, for a long time, at least going back till 2022. Okay. If we had seen what happened in 2020, this was probably up in this area, I'd imagine. It's probably due for one soon. And as you know, the stock market always goes through periods of up and periods of crash territory. At some point, and I'll go back to here, at some point you will, and I don't know when it is, at some point in the stock exchange, you will get a 50% move down from where it came from, from where it started at. Okay, that will happen. Okay, it will happen. And just imagine, just because it's always happened in the past, it will happen in the future. It just depends when. Okay, let's see. Maybe because maybe I will. What did Jason Ashworth said? Just ignores my charts. Jason, let's see. Where was Jason's chart request? Morning, Joe. You didn't even give me a chart request, Jason. I didn't even see it. So you didn't even give me one, bro. So I'm going to... I didn't even see it. So chart request for... Here we go. Quick, another chart request. Chris Phipps from PDX from Portland, Oregon has asked chart request for FSM, Fortuna Mining Corp, formerly Fortuna Silver Mining, FSM. Okay, let's take a look. We're going to take a look. FSM, people. Here is FSM. Let's take a look. Let me get this up. Share the screen. FSM, and this will be the last chart request. Okay, FSM, Fortuna Mining Corp on the New York Stock Exchange. We're going to do that. Let's take a look. My first look at Fortuna Mining Corp, silver mining, right here. This goes way back to, goes back to September of 2011. What do I see? Taking my first live look at this. Love to do it, and this is one of my favorite things to do. So let's take a look at this. What I do, just so you know, I do horizontal lines of support and resistance. I do some trend line analysis, look at the relative strength index and Fibonacci. I don't do extra stuff like Elliott waves and all that kind of stuff. I'm not as au fait on that kind of stuff. I just keep it simple, stupid. So let's do some very quick. Okay, that's an obvious place. Let's look at the general range. You'd say the general range is between here and about there-ish. That seems about right. Does that seem about right to you? Seems about right to me. Here is your normal range for FSM between $2.60 US and $5.50 US. So that's around about a 100% move-ish. Okay, so between 2013, and you've had some outlying times, okay, but you've been mainly trading in that range. Can you imagine with wonderful hindsight and all that, right? If you, let's say in 2000 and roughly 2015, you identified the general range of this stock between that sort of 100, a little bit over 100% range move. And you just played that range since about 2015. And you went, I'm not going to worry about the outline prices. I'm just going to buy when it hits $2.60 and I'm going to sell when it hits $5.50. And you just did that here. There's one win. Here, you waited. Here, you didn't catch the top, but you did it here. 2 wins. Here, 3 wins in 8 years. 3 wins in 9 years. That's great. And 100% move each time. That's fantastic. You had to play the long waiting game, but look at that. Okay, that's very, very cool. All right, so very clear main trading range. I'm going to, right there, I'm going to do that. So that is that. Next little areas of resistance, which kind of say, peaks are coming. You would call it right here at $7.15-ish, and the kind of the outliers, the outlying ranges is around about here. Yeah, you got that spike down there, but we won't consider that, okay? Round about there-ish. Cool, so there's your main range, and there's your outlying ranges at $2 and about $7.15 US cents. Trendline, let's do that one. Very clearly the all-time high. Okay, let's right, all-time high, double top. Okay, so there's your double top. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. All right, let me do that and that. There you go. You've got a clear pattern forming. It's forming higher lows, obviously, and those higher lows have remained. So let's take the spike, and that, could you pop it through? I'm going to take my glasses off so I can see this a bit better. Shall I pop it through there? Yeah, or through there? No, I'll do it on the spikes. Why not? Let's just do it on the spikes down. Right there, people, is your big upward, your big ascending triangle pattern. Big macro ascending triangle pattern right there. Can you see that? Good. So that is that forming. It would suggest it looks bullish-ish, I would say. And look, mining stocks, if gold and silver really take off, if we go into a gold and silver bull era, not just a bull market, but a bull era, mining stocks they haven't had their time in the sun for a while. They have been going up recently, but not like what they normally do. So you've got, out of interest, you have got at least, you've got at least a 100% move from here. $4.80 to the previous all-time high of $9.70 US cents. That's a 100% move from here. Am I saying you buy this now? Nope. Nope, I do not say that at all. If you do it, hey, good on you, and you're happy to take that risk once we're, over certain key areas. So I would suggest, and I wonder if this is going to align with my Fibonacci. Let me do that. I'll do Fibonacci and see if this line here at $7.15 aligns roughly with the 0.786. Let's find out, because this could be the final hurdle for me. In order, if it starts closing, let's do that quickly. So let's do the Fibonacci. I will first take it from, I'm going to have to take it from here. So I'm going to take it from the old high in 2016 and the old low in March of 2020, or we know what happened there. So let's take it from this high and this low. Let's see if there's any confluence. All right. No, it's not with the 786, so no, it's not. All right, give me a second, and I will remove these horizontal lines just for a moment. Hide, 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 and hide. Do we have any confluence between this high and this low? Maybe about there. No, not really. I wouldn't say that's really, maybe here. Okay, well, look, you've got from this high and this low, you did have some resistance here at the 0.786. Okay, this is on the monthly time frame, so that does mean something because they're a larger time frame. Spike, spike, spike. So resistance, resistance, resistance. Closed at the previous all-time high. Failed move, fast move to the downside. And yeah, I wouldn't say that aligns up. A little bit of a cluster right there. Okay, is there a better one? So let me just quickly go to here. Is this better? Is this more indicative? That high and that low. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you've got there $6.40. That lines up with the 0.786. Okay, maybe I'll take it from there. Anyway, this is kind of like a hindsight thing. So maybe this isn't too predictive, I would say. So I'm going to get rid of Fibonacci and not use it. And I'm going to go back to the horizontal lines. So for me, it seems about right here for me is the final hurdle for this. So I'm going to type that in. Final hurdle, I'm going to say monthly. Really want it to see it close on the monthly. Okay, monthly close. For me, personally, I would be seeing very good strength in the market for Fortuna Mining Corp on the New York Stock Exchange if when it closes if when it closes a month above, and not just at, because that's resistance, right? I find that to be resistance there. It's kind of where it opened, resistance, resistance, cluster of resistance there. You can see it right there on the monthly time frame. Once we start closing above, and it's going to be above, not just at, so you're talking your $7.40, $7.50 kind of area. You start closing months there, that's looking really positive, I would say, and that would be the impetus to say, oh, it's looking very good for the next move up to the all-time high, and probably second time's a charm, potentially, right? Particularly if we're going into a gold bull era, and if the mining stocks are going really well, then yes, you would very likely see that taken out the next time, in my humble non-financial advice opinion. But watch out. So if you're in here already, good on you. Hey, if you got down here at that $2 mark, mate, you've already doubled your investment. What do we say? If you get in at a price and it doubles, consider selling half of your investment already, because you've already made your initial, you sell half, you've made your initial investment back already, and then you're just free riding, and that's great. That's what you should do, right? Take the stress out of your life. But if you're not in the market yet and you're liking, oh, I've seen this for the first time too, Joe, I think I like the look of this too. This could be one of many mining stocks that goes really well. There's already some that are doing, great. But if this interests you as another diversity play within the mining stocks, I personally wouldn't consider getting in until we start closing above that $7.15, $7.20 area. Okay, that's just me. And then higher prices, we could talk higher. I will take it. I will do the Fibonacci though. I will take it from, again, this high and this low, just for potential higher prices. And you'd be looking at bare minimum $15 and 15 to 23. 15 to 23 would be a good profit taking area in my humble opinion, particularly if you buy down here at $4, it gets to 15. Well, if you buy here at $7.50, well, there you go. If you buy after the confirmation, none of this is financial advice, by the way. And if you wanted to, you could to be really safe, you could even raise this line from $7.50 up to the actual 0.786. Geez, I'm more likely inclined to do that. This is probably good enough, I would say, at that $7.15, because it's breaking this little area here where it opened at back in 2011. Okay, that's probably good enough. But if you want to be really extra cautious, wait until it closes above the 7.786 from this high and this low, and that's at $8. So closing a month above $8, that would be the real good. I mean, that's obvious, right? You're getting so close to the all-time high, it's probably obvious. But if you want to play it really safe, wait till the close above $8, right? So buying at $8, selling at, in between here, then you've basically, unless you're doing it at the bottom end, you've almost doubled, or, definitely doubled. So, $8-ish, wait till it hits 16, gets into the sort of the belly of the best sell zone, if you want to call it that, and then free ride the rest, but look between there and that 15 and sort of 23 is a good profit taking area. Could shoot through, but just look at those first two. $15 and $23 roughly. That is Fortuna Mining Corp. Oh, relative strength index. Hang on. Relative strength index has not spent any time in extremely overvalued ever. The tiny little bit there. Okay, so we're getting up there, but we haven't spent any time. And again, in a true mining stock bull market, you can easily get into that extremely overvalued area, but we're not there yet. So that's a good sign. On the weekly, we have been in there. Okay, so we have spent time in extremely overvalued on the weekly time frame, and we didn't do it. It wasn't back until August of 2020 was the last time we were there. We just recently did it in May. That would be okay. You would have to see a real good big bull market in in mining stocks for this to really start traveling onwards and upwards quickly again, okay, and getting back there so soon. So you'd be probably talking, you'd want a little bit of a gap to be a healthy move, maybe sometime in 2025, okay, maybe late 2025 for, higher prices. And on the daily time frame, well, don't worry about the daily, because that just goes up and down all the time. But the monthly, you've never spent any time in there. So looks good, while above that $7.15 to $8 area would be the area I would look at getting in. And congratulations if you're already in. That has been Fortuna Mining Corporation. Okay, final comments and we'll get out of here. So that's for you, Chris. Let's see. Last comments and queries. So, crypto market is climbing slowly. Could be. Lance says Knacker's made some good coin overnight on BTC. Not sure if I should exit my leveraged positions at the moment. Let me give you, Lance, a very, very hot tip. If you are, and you might be, if you're an experienced trader, trading leverage, be very careful. Have your stop losses very tight. Okay? Leverage in crypto. Okay? That's all I'll say. Very good, but no beef TC for me, says Knackers. That's fine. If you want, use the 80s. If you want to see the 80s use just normal VIX, we'll do that next time. Okay. Any luck with the gold, silver, platinum ticker on the live screen? No luck as yet. Got to run, says Mark Floria. Got to run too. I'll quickly tell you what I've got to do, where I'm going tomorrow. The entire system is based on continuous growth. Yes, how is it not acknowledged that this is not sustainable? What can't go up forever won't. Or are we just marching off the cliff and hoping someone else will sort it out? Kick the can down the road. Thank you again. A super chat from Chris Phipps. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got a super chat from you day before yesterday. Appreciate that. No problem. You bought in the $3 range in 2022. Mate, well done, sir. So you're at about the $4.80 mark. You're up from there. Look, not financial advice. When you get up to that $6 mark, I would just say consider selling half on double, because I care about my GMS family and I want you to make all the money you possibly can. Super chat, that's right. Love. Oh, he loves a hot tip. And on that note, my party people, I will quickly tell you what's going on. So, quick announcement. You may or may not get a show tomorrow because I will be at the airport tomorrow. I'll tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. I'll be at the airport tomorrow. So, bright and oily tomorrow. So, at around about, if the show is happening, it will happen around about probably 9 o'clock because around 9:30 I'll probably already be boarding the plane. Okay, so I'll tell you what's going on tomorrow. Very likely you'll get it tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So, actually, no, I should tell you now in case you don't get a show tomorrow. Anyway, got a call on Monday to do a quick fill-in cruise ship gig. So I'm boarding a cruise ship tomorrow morning with a band that I've worked with once before. Great people, great band. And we're doing an 80s themed cruise ship gig for 3 days over the weekend. So yes, me in 80s gear, eyeliner, not a wig this time. You'll have to, they'll have to, get this beautiful coif, probably headbands and fluoro and, leopard print and all that kind of stuff. So we sail on Friday, do a Friday night show, then, got all day off on Saturday, do a Saturday night show, and then I've got all Sunday off and Sunday night off. So 2 shows over the 3 days and then back into Sydney and then fly back to Melbourne on Monday. So Monday's show might be from a cruise ship, potentially. I don't know. And you might get some maybe I'll go live on the cruise ship if I've got decent enough internet, which is included. So that's what's happening tomorrow. So very likely you'll get a live show from the airport, quite possibly, maybe a quick one tomorrow. But if you don't, that's what I'm doing. And that is it, people. That's been Good Morning Stackers for the 19th of February. 9th of February? The 19th of September, 2024. I'm going to get out of here. And what we do, we got to dance it out because this has been
Good Morning Stackers.
Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
Good Morning Stackers.
It's podcast
okay.
time.
Grab
a tasty beverage. Let's get
and let's do the
Synchronised.
in 3,
Now we're
2,
on the move.
1, slap it.
Good Morning Stackers.
Oh,
Woo! Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay informed. Hopefully catch you tomorrow. Always keep stacking.
podcast.
Have a good one.